Well, it stopped bleeding, but it's scabbed up, so nearly getting there. I look like a little Mr. Squiggle, don't I? Ooh, Mr. Squiggle, man. Got me little lead pencil there. Anyway, I won't go on about my nose till it's healed up, but I was just thinking about Cyberpunk 2077 and just the future, what it's all about. And Cyberpunk, it's sort of that kind of Blade Runner, kind of what's that movie? That futuristic book, Aldous Huxley. 2032 or something, or I can't remember what it's called, but Brave New World, or that whole idea that the future is all about technology and being watched, and I tend to take the more positive attitude. I don't like the whole controlling, technological, sort of imprisoning, sort of it's almost disease or insidious sort of it's almost a malign sort of society. I prefer believing in superpower and being free and being natural, and you can still have your technology, but it's not the dominating evolutionary force. It's because that's what we tend to believe in, don't we? We don't believe in ourselves. We believe in evolving our boxes of technology into something better. And I mean, look at mine. Mine's pretty modest. I've got a little telly, an old analog amplifier over there, and the Xbox and a few other things, and a set-top box. But apart from a computer and a few other things, I don't really try and be the latest. Not that I can on my income, but not that I would. I wouldn't want to be the latest. I like just being the mid-range, just having a few mod cons. But the whole idea that we have to progress with technology, and that's the driving force of evolution, is I don't like that personally. As my belief system, I tend to be more our imagination and what we perceive about ourselves is what evolves our being, and that's why I believe in superpower and beyond that magic and beyond that fantasy worlds and all sorts of stuff this universe could blossom as, because it's basically the universe is very full of potential. It's like me, like I'm full of potential. I haven't blossomed. I haven't reached my kinetic peak. I haven't turned that potential into something useful. Sort of, drizzling here and there, doing little things, but I just think there's so much more to the human spirit, the human soul, the heart, the mind, the body, the soul, the world we live in, the world we create for ourselves. And I'd like to believe that we could, I just mean people that believe in what I'm saying, I know it's a hard step to believe in because we think of Superman as a fantasy sort of scenario, something for the movies, but I believe it comes from us and as a collective sort of belief system in our desire to be free of constraint, free of pain, free of injury, free of limitations. And like in the movies, saying, push yourself beyond your limitations, keep pushing yourself. And I went for a bike ride the other day, and I've got a bit of a tummy on me, but I pushed beyond that limitation. I got up and I could feel my muscles working instead of pushing on my tendons and my bones. I felt that release, and I felt into my muscles again and my muscular system. Even though I was pushing, carrying the flab, I could feel myself pushing the boundaries again, and I felt in the zone, in that, fast track. And even though I scared a few old people riding past, I still, I left them enough room, but they like their paddock of space to feel safe, which is fair enough. They don't want to have a fall or something. But no, I just like that idea of pushing beyond the boundaries and limitations of what perhaps we believe in, and I mean, I suppose the constraint is that we are a person. Thinking beyond that, you sort of become energy, like as a Jim Carrey sort of idea that we don't have a identity. But I believe we do. I believe our soul is our identity. We have a body which is an expression of that soul, and then we have or the energy of that soul. And the soul is not so much energy. Our soul is our being, our person, the person we are, and our spirit's what carries us and connects us. Um, and I see within myself that whole world, that whole world of the body, soul, mind, all is interconnected, all sort of one, but all sort of parts in a way, like your eyeballs independent of your head, but it's still connected. It's an identity, the eyeball. It's not just a mist of energy like Jim Carrey or some other theologian might profess, having these persona enlightenments he has, not believing he's Jim Carrey even. That's just a construct of the media or his parents or, a name, or he's sort of almost anonymous to everything, but I kind of want to go the other way. I like going the other way and believing in my identity and believing in form and texture and persona and belief and the future and story. Story's important, having a story, a story to your life. My life's been, growing up has been pretty much living the ideal life, even though my family wasn't perfect. I suppose in a way it was sort of to some degree, because I wouldn't be this person I am if my family hadn't gone through those sort of struggles and challenges. But I suppose it's it's a bit of a cliche to look back and say, I wouldn't be the person I am if I didn't go through all that. But maybe I'd be a better person. I'd look better and feel better, and if I had all that. But growing up, I didn't have religion. Religion to me was bit old, out of date. I was more into sex and relationships, and even though I didn't have much of it, that's what I believed in. Just sort of almost becoming. I wanted to be like probably just your run of the mill playboy in a way, just being able to do what I like, not believing so much in marriage, but. Like I said to my sister, I didn't really want to get married, but what I meant was I just wanted to be a free-spirited sort of playboy and just do what I want with girls, or maybe even experiment with men or whatever. Who knows? But I never felt pinned down to that religious belief. But as I got older, I went through these struggles. I sort of leaned on religion as a belief to just make sure I was good all the time. It's not so much relying on religion. I just I feel like what I was doing was similar in comparison to being a religious person. I was being a good person, and which is important to some degree, but you got to have some fun, I suppose, and just break the rules a bit. I always believe it doesn't matter what you do really in life, as long as you're not really harming anyone. I don't believe in actually committing harm on people. Going out and just punching someone dead just for the fun of it or something like some people might do. Or I always believe in just nurturing, caring for my world, environment. And I think that's part of having a superpower. It's sort of a responsibility to be true to that, and true to justice, and true to honouring fairness and stability and almost protection, being a protective sort of spirit, and protective of all of the living and non-living entities or beings or material or elements. I think it's the idea of becoming Cyberpunk 2077, a world in reality with sort of, cybernetic sort of attachments and, things in your body. And I suppose, to some people growing up now it might sound sort of thrilling or romantic or something, but the idea of just being an experimental sort of cyber freak, and not really having control over your life, feeling patched and sort of used and like material. To me, that's not owning yourself. It's not, being true to, your heart. It's sort of falling prey to technology. You're becoming intertwined and almost becoming a slave. So I like the idea of being a Superman, just exploring that, and maybe it leads to Peter Pan, maybe it leads to sort of a flying, being able to fly, being able to express that power to, lift off the ground. Your soul or spirit is so immense, it can actually just lift your being and being true to yourself and being loving yourself and not giving up on yourself. Even though you're so big, you still love this little body, enough to give it this dream, to create this story and create this society or community, or even if it's global, it's and doing that with peace, love, affection, and sex. I think sex is important for superheroes to have a family and give birth to their children. And some might think, Superman doesn't have a family, but a lot of the cartoons he does. He has kids. He's a person, just a big heart, big spirit. And I think ultimately you can sort of look at life two ways. This dark, dismal, sort of stormy, the atmosphere's fucked, and it's, they have rain generators on cities and to wash the shit away, and cyber criminals, and it's all a punk sort of world, people vandalising and killing. Or you look at the other way, this shiny sort of example of humanity that's almost golden and in the sunlight, which is what I prefer. I prefer that idea of living, in harmony with technology and almost having it as an adornment rather than something in your body, maybe having a necklace or clothing, or that's what I prefer. I don't like the idea of having technology invasive in my body. I've come to that conclusion. It's not for me. There might be others that feel it's necessary, but I think the body has ways of dealing with trauma and dealing with injury in different ways that may seem absolutely bananas to some people, but to me, it's a possibility. That we could even grow back a limb, given we could live for 1,000 years, maybe to grow back a limb. And it might come out as a globular sort of mass and then eventually turn into a bone, and then, because it takes a long time for the body to regenerate all that body that might have lost, So I think, you lose your head, it's game over, really. But, or your heart fails, you're in big trouble. But I see my heart as more than just the muscle in my chest. I see it as my world, my heart. So it's a big heart, my heart, and I haven't shared it with anyone much on a romantic level. It's more platonic, more friendly. But I do wish to find that romantic partner or partners or community, or I'd love to have sort of my own little street of just beautiful women that I live with, and all my children can play in the street, and I'm sort of the man of the street, I suppose it's Lois Lane or something. Not a street, a lane, Lois Lane, just to be funny about it. But yeah, I think it'd be cool having my own street with what do they call them? The Stepford Wives or something, or the Perfect Wives, all living in a street, all picket fences, and that'd be great. Got to have things to aim towards and dream about, and like I say, my wives are free to do what they want. They can do anything they like, but just as long as they don't leave me out of the picture, I don't want to be left out on my own. Hopefully one day I meet someone. I won't have the thing on my nose, will I? I'm fairly handsome. without that on my nose. I could look a lot better with a bit of love, a bit of loving. Won't be so droopy. Be more like that, just nice. That's from worry, years of sleepless worry. Anyway, not to be vain. It's more not vanity. It's more good health. I think. Like to look healthy and authentic. I should look more like an authentic Superman Ken sort of Peter Pan, Superman Ken sort of. I suppose I look a bit more like a young Santa Claus, don't I? Anyway, it's not all about those characters though. Those cliched sort of main characters. I like to explore more organic, sort of more interesting, more fantasy, spiritual, sort of physical. I mean, I'd love to be an octopus lover and just totally have 12 penis tentacles and cover my woman in an octopus tentacle monster and just. I saw a picture once of one doing this pretty young blonde girl. And I was like, oh my god, wouldn't that be cool? To be like a tentacle monster and just tickle her all over. Anyway, getting a bit off track. I'll see you later. Stay safe. Peace.